Um, thank you. I just want to thank Father God for allowing us to come together again as a community of people, owners of Southside Food Co-op. We own it, and we always say you can too. So I thank God for opportunity. I thank God for our ancestors that went before us. I thank God for this land that we're on now that was not our native land, but we come to love. I thank God for the ancestors that laid down roots for us, that took stripes for us, Lord. I thank God for the strength. I thank God for their struggle. And I thank God that our strength, our resilience, our power, our creativity, our vibrancy, it flows through everything they went through for us, Lord. So I thank you right now for everything we bring together collectively. It's such a powerful work, Lord. It's such a work that's, oh my God, that moves mountains, God. It moves people into action. So I thank you, Lord, for Southside Food Co-op. I thank you for our founder, William Daniels. I thank you, Father. I thank you. I thank you for what he brought to the table. I thank you for what he continued to bring to the table. I thank you for each and every member, our gold founding members, our charter members, our first 300. I thank you for each and every one. And Lord, I ask you to bless this meeting in a mighty way. Amen. All
Amen.
right. I'm going to turn it over to William. He's going to kick us off today.
All right, yay. First, let me ask, can y'all hear me good? Okay, hallelujah, hallelujah. Thank you, Auntie, for opening us up with that beautiful prayer. Um, well, I'm the founder of Southside Food Co-op. Just meaning that, look, just briefly talking about the inspiration after, the George Floyd riots hit Chicago. I was out the country. It took about a month till I actually talked to my father, and he just really broke down to me because he was actually out there in the middle of everything, with himself, and just seeing what was going on. And he just told me that it was, look, he was alive during the King riots, and he said that this was something that he's never seen in his lifetime, you know, and it just caused me to start thinking like, man, how can I contribute, being all the way far away, but this is my home. And that's how I came across the concept of the co-op, and I was like, man, this is right on point, because a lot of times things have to be torn down to build. Sometimes you have to tear down to build, and things was already torn down, so it's like, how can we build? And so from there, uh, I did a little initial social media setup, and my auntie was one of the first people really to check in, and she just ran with it from there. She's the main one, uh, I would say, that has pushed it as the chair. Really first, getting the family together first. And then from there, just branching off, and we've got so many people. Uh, you know, Dr. Brittany, Steph, and just people. The whole concept of the co-op is just that we all own it. It's not one person who benefits from it, like a sole proprietorship. Everyone benefits from it, and it's room for anyone who wants to see a betterment in the community to come, and put their hand to the whole and help build this, for the betterment of the whole South Side. So that's briefly. I don't want to take up too much time. I just want to say that I'm just so excited about the progress that we've made in a year's time. Like, we've actually, for what we're attempting to do and what we're doing, the progress that we've made in a year it's excellent. It's excellent. We have recognition, from state representatives, the governor's office, um, you know, plenty of established co-ops. One of the guest speakers, today from Gem City, uh, and I'm just gonna close by saying that everyone that's on this line, I would just ask you guys to like and share, like and share, like and share, like and share. You know, even if, like I say, just the social media aspect is so important on getting the word out, and just building membership, because that's what there's power in there's power in unity, and it's power membership. People the farther we're going to go, and the more opportunities for the co-op uh, are going to open up. We the initial phase of what we're doing is uh, the grocery store. But as in Gem City Co-op, even in our first location, it's other things that we can have. From counseling center, or things, youth center, just whatever we put our minds to, and whatever we want to see, with the proper membership, with the amount of people, uh, can make it manifest. So that's about it. I'm just gonna say once again, I'm just so proud of our board. I'm so proud of what we pulled off for the fall festival. Uh, Dr. Brittany, Stephen, Jessica, uh, Auntie, Sharon, going out getting those sponsorships. I mean, it was just such a high. We ended out 2021 on such a high note. So, just looking for bigger and better things to come. And love and appreciate you guys. And I'm going to pass it back over to my auntie.
Wow, wasn't that awesome? As always, he's always awesome, always motivating. I just love you. That's why I'm a part of this. That's why I got on
Hallelujah.
board. That's why I support this. Hey, so I thank God for you all that joined us on today. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I just want to do something while we're yet waiting for our speaker to come on. I'm just going to go ahead and y'all work with me now. Go into this. Uh, I did it again. Hold on for 1 minute, y'all. Give me a break. I'll come out of here. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, 1 second. Dr. Brittany be trying to work with me on this, so y'all gotta pray for me on this part, okay, y'all? Mm, all right. Share is coming. And then I need to get back to here. And I thank God for Dr. Brittany. Somebody thank God for Dr. Brittany helping me out on today and working
Yes.
for me. Okay, so I hope you guys can see the Zoom. I'm just going to do a short presentation. I'm not going to read everything, but I'm going to kind of flow for some new people that came on today. And we've been talking and meeting with people all week. I've been just having some awesome conversations. So we want to talk about we're inspired and we're committed and we will do Southside Food Co-op. Some people know that we can get a little sour on things about investing your time, investing your energy, investing money. Why? Because it seemed like it don't come to pass. But we're saying this will come to pass. Southside Food Co-op. And then just briefly, what is a cooperative? A cooperative is an autonomous association of persons united voluntarily to meet their common economic, social, and cultural needs and aspirations through a jointly owned democratic control enterprise. And cooperatives are based on values of self-help, self-responsibility, democracy, equality, equity, and solidarity. And I love the idea of self-help, self-responsibility. I love the idea of democracy, that we're doing it together. We all can work together, equality, equity, and just coming together in solidarity, um, being one. being united, allowing people to share their thoughts, and not put each other down. I love that idea, to not put anyone down, even if we don't agree. We still have to, when we leave the table, we have to know that we're in this together and we own it together. So it's not based on one person's thoughts. Even though I'm the board chair, is I'm going to go along with what the majority wants to do, and that's how it should be done. Cooperative members believe in ethical values of honesty, openness, social responsibility, and caring for others. We are community driven. If I could just put it like that, we are community driven. Not only the outside community, but the community of members, the community of these owners, the community, and I'm going to go between member owners and gold founding members, because the first 300 of you are considered our charter members, our gold founding members. And after 300, it'll just be considered member owners. Okay, 7 cooperative principles are guiding the cooperative model. Open and voluntary membership, democratic control, member economic participation. That means we're sowing a seed, or somebody have sown a seed on our behalf, or maybe set up some type of scholarship where if we can't pay, somebody else is paying for us. Autonomy and independence. No one tells us how to run this. We run this. It's not a corporation where shareholders or stake holders control us. Education, training, and information. That's something that I have really in 2022 been pressed upon, making sure each member owner, or we'll say gold founding member, have the tools they need to share about the company they own. So we're going to be pushing education, training, and information this year, because you should be able to talk about your business to anyone that asks you about why do you own Southside Food Co-op. Cooperation among cooperatives. We help each other as cooperatives. I love that motto. I have, as a new chair, have sought help from several cooperatives. And I'm going to tell you, some are overwhelmingly inviting towards us, and some are just kind of like moderate, but it's okay, because I get what I need at the end of the day. Concern for community. We believe that we are oppression disruptors as a cooperative, that we are the ones that bring to the table what our community needs. We're not looking for anyone else to do it. We want to do it for ourselves. Okay, I want to go through this. What do we bring to the table, y'all? We build on local skills and assets. That means the people within the co-op that own the co-op, we want to go to them first to help us build this project, to help us put together an excellent project. Pool limited resources for scale and impact. We're only asking for $100, y'all. That is a small amount considered next to several co-ops that I've been studying. They run from anywhere from 250 and higher per share, or per contribution. I'll put it that way. We build an inclusive economic uh, economy through our community of ownership. So that means that we're going to come together as owners, right? And build this community, build this model that's not seen in on the south side of Chicago. It's no store that you could say right now on the south side of Chicago that you've seen this model, or you've seen this type of business open, and you say, well, wow, this is happening. Now, I'm going to say, I'm talking about this food grocery store that we're trying to open. I want to back up and say there is a worker cooperative called Shy Fresh, which is a group of individuals who were incarcerated, who came together and formed a worker cooperative. So that is happening. But as far as a grocery store, we want a grocery store. And we're going to come together as a community of owners and do that. We focus on meeting needs rather than financial return. So we know we're not in this for the money, y'all. At the end of the day, we cannot say we're in this for the money, right? We want to have jobs that pay living wages, not just the $15 is what the city pay. We want to raise enough capital, working capital, that when we open, we have enough cash flow where we can off. We're gonna have all planned out, but I want to just say that we're not gonna stick with what the minimum is. We want to pay over the minimum if possible, because we got to do what's sustainable for us as a business. But we want to work towards that. Paying a living wage, paying something higher, paying a dollar amount where someone will want to work for us, with us, and for us. Okay. Grow a sustainable food system and economy, anchor wealth in a community, and we want to work together. Kind of like I don't want to read all of this for you guys, but I just thank you to the gold founding members. We want to thank you again. We want to always thank you, and we want to ask you to also make this year 2022 a year of truly you laying down your roots in this project, saying that some of my sweat equity went into this project to help when the doors open. I got this dream that the ribbon would be so long that we could all bring us out some scissors, that we can all have a share in cutting on opening day. Come on, not just one or two people. That's my dream. Also, co-op solves problems. We solve food insecurity, food apartheid, redlining, systemic racism, the capitalistic systems, and we oppose all form of oppression, white supremacy. Glory to God. This is just starting, kind of like our little history. I'm not going to go through that. We started in June of 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic and the George Floyd murder, which resulted in much looting and rioting. And William already said that in his opening. And each and every member, and I'm starting to document for our records, because we want a lasting record of who laid down their money, who laid down their thought and heart behind a vision, who came alongside us. So we're going to start documenting, because I want your name as a living legacy to be documented. So you'll start seeing that more. How I'm laying your names and putting your names here and there and where there should be. I appreciate you so much. I honor each and every one of you. Our competitors, we always have to think, who is our competitors? Walmart, Jewel, Dollar Tree, and even the corner stores. So we always have to consider, who are our competitors? How can we compete to our competitors? And we say Southside Food Co-op, community owned, community controlled versus Walmart. Walmart is trying to come up with a new spin, saying that they're going to put a managerial type program, easy access right next door to the one on 83rd. I like that. I like that, but still is controlled by them, not us. So, what I want to bring to the table is say we're still better. Why? Because we control it. We own it. We control it. Jules, we believe that we might even be able to lower pricing. We're going to try to be as competitive as possible. We believe that we can bring a friendly family atmosphere. How many stores do you walk in and you feel like you're a part of a family? This is what we say Southside Food Co-op could do. Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is starting to bring more foods and offer more things. It's no longer Dollar Tree, it's a $1.25 tree. But we can say we'll offer you fresh foods, fresh vegetables, area that you can sit and chat with your neighbor, and bring somebody out for a cup of tea. We want to offer you this. If you are a entrepreneur in baking and you need a commercial kitchen to produce your food and even to put on our store shelves, we want to offer you this commercial kitchen area. So it's a lot that we want to bring to the table that Dollar Tree is not offering our community. Corner stores, affordable pricing, more merchandise, and better wages. All right. Let's see. Here we go. This is just kind of our target market. uh when we were doing the survey, I think you see the area of 32 to 40 and 40 to 50, and even it well, it to me it's kind of even because most people shop. I'm gonna just even say 18 and up. We all shop 60 and over. I don't care, even though it's not really represented well here. We all shop. So this is just kind of what happened with our survey that we did. So I don't know how good that is. But anyway, how will we fund this? Member owner contribution, owner loans, donations, capital campaigns, grants, and loans. Pretty much what most people uh, anticipate us to be doing. Currently, we're having a market study done because most people want to know where is the store? Where would the store be located? We get that a lot. So we're having a market study done. That was through a grant, the Reinvestment Fund. They gave us a grant to work with Colluminate. I have been in a lot of conversations with them. And then also, I have invited them to come and be presenters for our March meeting. So Colluminate, you can ask all kind of questions. What does the market study? How does it help us? How does it help us determine what neighborhood would be best for us? I did give them three areas: Greater Grand Crossing, Auburn Gresham, and South Shore. I did not give them Chatham because that was one of my first places I really wanted to, but I did not give them Chatham only because it's another similar store opening in Chatham. It's forming now. They have started some pop ups. They got a nice size grant for the Chatham area. So we've been talking back and forth. So I did not put Chatham on our list. Okay, what Colluminate asks of me is to put it out to our member owners that they want to hear from you. They want to know more from the owners of Southside Food Co-op, definitely where their preference would lie. Why? Why would you want your store in Greater Grand Crossing? Why would you want it in Auburn Gresham? Why would you want it in South Shore? What would those benefits be for you? Maybe you live in one of those communities. So you will be able to share what you feel the spin is from your perspective. Or even if not living in those communities, I kind of like the South Shore area. I was thinking that President Obama's library is going to be in that area. I really believe that that's going to really push that area to a new level. So I really want to look at that area and explore that area and see what a store like us would bring to the table. So that's my spin on it, but I want to hear from you guys. Okay, again, talking about some of the things that we've accomplished in 2021, talking about some grants that we received. So awesome, some of the things that we've gotten so far from Food Cooperative Initiative, the Reinvestment a fund. Oh my God, we've gotten some good feedback. One fund that's paying for our market study, Sean Park is one of our mentors that's from Western Illinois University, been looking at our business plan. He reached out to our Lieutenant Governor, Julian Anna Stratton, and spoke with her about us. She gave him a small grant for us to bring on Katie Novak, who has done some strategic planning processes with us talking to us about some things. We started a promo for February Black History Month, 28 new members in 28 days. I really believe we could exceed that. We have one new member so far. Facebook blocked that campaign for some reason. They're calling it political. But what I'm wanting you guys to do is push this 28 new members in 28 days to help us push this. No matter what Facebook says, or this is not a political or telling people how to vote or any of that. So it's just about growing something good for our neighborhood. Again, marketing strategy. We thank God for our marketing team, Dr. Brittany, what she brings to the table for our social media postings and Instagram and Twitter, and Steven posting from membership. Oh my God, we've really been putting it out there. Southside Food Co-op, new monthly newsletter. I Let me know. Let us know if you didn't get it. That means there's something going on with your email. We need to maybe update something. You'd be surprised. It could be just something so simple. So let us know. Marketing team created membership flyers, postcard, advertisement, press release. We did it that for our fall festival, but I'll get to that. I want to just say that I'm so fortunate to be the head of this right now. I'm not going to be the head forever, but right now, for this time, this assignment, I am so fortunate. I've been featured in Shy Biz Hub as a startup business to represent Southside Food Co-op and bring some more awareness and acknowledgement of our project. I've been featured from Dr. Brittany's recommendation. Voyage MIA magazine did an article on us. In September, I was invited to sit down as a panelist for Community Wealth Building Summit that Mira Lightfoot put together. It was really good, amazing. Uh, okay, in October, I was interviewed for the Chicago Food Policy Action Council Story Maps. It's a digital interactive page highlighting narratives that local Indigenous, Black, and Latino leaders play within the arena of food sovereignty. I was so fortunate. This is such a mighty work. Let me just talk about what food sovereignty is. Food sovereignty is a food system in which the people who produce and distribute, consume, I'm sorry, I gotta make sure I move this over a little bit. Consume food, also control the mechanisms and policies for food production and distribution. It's about control for us. It's about access to control, access to be invited to the table. All right, let's see. Oh, and then October, I don't want to forget this. Again, we thank God for our founder talking about this again. Our first live event was Southside Food Co-op Fall Festival in the Dan Ryan Woods on the 83rd. Awesome event. I thank you for each and every person that helped us and came alongside of us and participated financially and everything. I just thank God for all of you. And I just want to stop here and say, if you have not joined us, what's stopping you? Let us know. Maybe we can share some more with you. Maybe we can talk with you. Maybe it's some questions that we can answer for you. It could be financial, and we can even help you with that. So just let us know. Give us hands up if it's something that's stopping you from joining us. I'm gonna tell you this is a good project. I'm gonna tell you you're gonna feel good at the end of the day when you see this store open. And especially if you come in now as a gold founding member, you're gonna be so glad you did. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. Okay. Right now, I'm trying to see and hey, thank you, Willa. Hello, everybody. I thank you guys for joining us. Making sure I'm trying to see if our guest speaker came on yet. I don't think so. Dr. Brittany, did you see her yet? No.
No, not yet.
Okay. All right then. Well, we're gonna just keep flowing. We're gonna just keep Uh, Maybe we have some questions now we can answer for you guys. Anybody have any questions? You want to unmute yourself, or maybe this is your first time. You want to just introduce yourself to everybody that's on the Zoom, and we could make you feel welcome on today. Anybody have any questions, thoughts? No? All right.
I got question.
Sure.
Hey, my name is
Hi.
Alexi. This is the first meeting that I'm attending.
Yeah.
I invested in y'all, so I'm really excited to see this come into fruition. I was curious on if you have a breakdown on, the price that you need, the funding needed, if that could be shared later, or, if you have it now.
Sure. You know what? Our breakdown, when we first started this and we started talking about starting a food co-op, someone told us it was $2.5 million. But the more we add on, guess what adds on? The dollar amount. The more we want that commercial store. We want that small cafe. We even talked about having a medical area where people can get their blood pressure checked. And you know how people are getting the COVID shots or tests, things of that nature. We're even talking about trying to add that in. So when we do our market study, we're requesting that. And when we request that, that means that dollar amount is going to go up. So we're starting out at the dollar amount of 5.5 million, but I expect it to be a lot more than that. And then the dollar amount is also determined in our financial performer area from that market study. Which is being performed. That's why the study costs so much. It's approximately about $20,000 for this study. And I hear, when I first started, a lot of people say, "Oh, you could do the research yourself. You can have schools, business schools, do that study for you." I got a lot of people telling me that, but as I continued to press to get that study done, because that's part of your business plan, as I continue to press to get that study done, even through schools or whatever, business colleges and things of that nature, um, stores that are close to opening inform me that even if you get that study done, it just gets you started. To go to a lender, to go to a bank, I would need a professional study. And then even once I get the professional study done, it only lasts 6 months. So then after 6 months, if we're not getting a loan or whatever, right, I would still have to have them updated. It won't cost me $20,000 again, but I will still have to pay them to update it. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
No problem. I appreciate it. I love the questions. I love it. Yep. So I can't wait to be able to share that with you. That's something that we want you to, you guys to know how much it's going to cost. Because that's your fundraising, your capital campaigns, your grant. This is another thing. Let me put this out here. We need grant writers. People who are willing to do some of that hard work of grant writing. Oh my God. That is something that we are looking for. We want to use anybody's skill sets, whoever's willing. If you're willing to put that skill to use for us, we would love it. But then too, even if you don't want to write the whole grant, join our financial team, because on our financial team, we're going to have people do maybe sections. You might just want to do this question or whatever, and then we'll bring it all together. So that'll make it easier for us too to present some nice grants, just several people working on them at one time. And then you guys come up with a grant that you're pleased with, it, bring it to the board, and then we send it off and see what happens. So it's a lot of ways to do it, right? All right. Okay. I want to keep putting my appeals out. I hope our speaker get on. But if not, we're going to go forward, right? Any other questions? Any other thoughts, comments?
I would like to say hi.
Hi, Tess.
This is my first. How are you, Reverend? This is my first meeting. When I found out about Southside Food Co-op from one of my Facebook friends, and I had followed the page. I stalked the page for a while.
I just okay. I love it.
Because I wanted to see, was it any movement?
Hmm.
Is it, are people really serious and things like that? And I was so impressed. And I was just so happy with the mission statement and everything that we're trying to accomplish is so overdue. It's time. I was telling my son, he's 18. I was telling him the other day, like, we are so fortunate to live in the times that we're living in. We are witnessing the fall of white supremacy right in front of our eyes, and it's so exciting. And I'm currently in Roseland, grew up in Roseland, Maple Park area. So I see I can with you already know it's so many neighborhoods in Chicago with so much food disparities and inequality. And I just wanted to say hi to everybody and let everybody know I'm excited to be here. I'm ready to hit the ground running. I am ready for this. I am ready for this. And we need this. I'm recently I just acquired some land. It's a small portion I share with my family. It was getting ready to get taken away from us because of just people in my family dying, not doing wills and stuff right. And you know how it is. It's how can I put it? Within the African American community, sometimes it's a lack of understanding how important land is. So a lot of my family members was just signing they didn't want anything to do with it. So me, my sister, a couple of my cousins, we came together, put our little money together and saved it. So I'm ready to also use portions of that land because I had a vision for Roseland to have just like a little small permanent farmers market, So I gave you that background so you could know that food is my life. I love to eat, okay? And I've been in the medical field since high school and I'm a certified herbalist. So natural health and living and education, community engagement, all of that. I'm also prior military, so I love being outside in nature and all of that. So I'm ready. I could just see so many things happening with this grocery store. And I'm glad you and your partners came together to even put this idea together because we need control of our own. We do.
That is so exciting. Oh my God, that is so exciting. Oh, I am so excited for you. Just to own land. This is something that's kind of like in our vision too. To have our own little area that we can grow, right,
Yeah.
and put in the store too. So, yes, William, come on, William. This is kind of like in us too, yeah. That's lining right up, right, William, with the vision. So we just thank God we
Look,
want to come and we're going to support you. We're going to help you. That's what it's all about,
I just
partnering
wanted to know,
with, hi?
Auntie,
Yes,
I
go
just
ahead.
want to interject that land aspect. Look, 100 years ago, African American black people, we had like 20, close to 25% of the land in America. How much land we got now? We down to less than 2%. Less than 2%. And that's like she said, our people don't understand the importance of it. And that's look, so I ain't gonna look, go ahead. Hallelujah. But yeah, it lines in the whole you get the right funding, you get the right people, that got the passion for it, and you got the people that have the actual understanding of it. Like she said, the opportunities is really endless, but the whole thing is just about, I mean, the ball is already rolling now. So, the more people, uh, the more that we can do.
That is so true, and I just love it. I just want to continue to just encourage you, and then also as you continue to move forward, there are grants, depending on how you want to, work the property. What you want to steer it towards is grants that's for you. You're going to have monies to support what you need, and I just love that. Because I'm gonna tell you, people going to support you. People are going to support you. They're going to come alongside you. And we believe in having a tribe of people that will come alongside you and support what you're doing. You know, it's not just about supporting us, but it's about supporting each other. That's why we want to partner with our own entrepreneurs. Maybe you got a skincare line. Our store is the place for you. You know, maybe you got something that you cook and sell. You know, our store is the place for you. Do you know it's easier to get your product in a co-op than jewels and things of that nature? Why? Because we want to stay local. We want to promote local. And look, when you become those millionaires and billionaires after starting with Southside Food Co-op, don't forget about us. Don't forget about us when your line go national. You know, you do the national chase. Don't forget about us. So I thank God. Now let me just do this. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna turn off my. I'm gonna turn it over to Dr. Brittany. Do you want to have a few words to say? I just want to check on my speaker in case she reached out to me and I have not been able to do so. Dr. Brittany, you have anything you want to share? Okay,
Yep,
she
I'm
may.
still here. I was trying
Okay.
to move away from all of the tablets that are going off in my house right now. But I just wanted to thank everybody too for everything that they've been doing. If you look at our social media now, you'll see that we're running a 28-day campaign in honor of Black History Month. And also the campaign is to secure 28 additional members. So we would just ask you guys to share all the posts that we're posting, like one a day. Typically, Stephen is posting as well about membership, just so we can sort of get closer to our goal of actually opening up the store. So check it out. And then also, whenever you get an email, even after this meeting, just go ahead and forward the invite that you got earlier today so that we can continue to create more awareness around what we're doing. So does anyone have any questions about like our marketing, like what we're doing? And then also, we're going to restart the marketing committee this month, towards the end of the month, so that you know, you guys can become a lot more involved. All right, perfect. And then I do want to just give a shout out to Elvis, who I see is on right now. He actually volunteered to help me post some of the social media this month. So thank you so much for agreeing to do that a couple days ago. I really appreciate it. And then I'll pick on Stephen too. Do you want to talk about membership?
Yeah, I can do that. Hey, everybody. So membership is the core of what we're trying to do. It gives us control, it gives us power, it gives us a voice. $100, people spend that in a week on lunch, more or less, especially if you go out every weekend or every other weekend. So it's not a major commitment, but it pays dividends. It pays back in a big way. Being a part owner in a store, that's going to impact the community and help people across the board, not just locally, but everywhere, because we want more than one store. So the vision is definitely big and it's driven, and we have all the right people. Sharon, who's on this call, Tiffany's on this call, done a membership and community engagement team with me. So you will see us posting, you will see us, you know, trying to connect with you to see what questions you have, so you can say you own it too. That's all I have.
One of the things that we actually did for the fall festival a couple months ago, I just wanted to kind of give Sharon a quick, I know she wasn't expecting this, a quick shout out, because she is like the master of getting donations, especially from like a lot of small business owners. So I just wanted to kind of give her a shout out for a lot of the raffle items that she contributed. And you know, like she went out in the cold, and like she went to like a lot of major stores and started pulling some things in for us. So I really appreciate that. Sharon, do you want to talk about that a little bit. I don't know if you can unmic a bit, but that's also another way that I think that we can all sort of contribute, just by going to like local businesses and asking people to donate items so that we can raffle them off. And I see Kenya jumped in, but Sharon, if you could do like like a minute or two, and then we could let Kenya do her presentation.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Uh, so I'm actually just jumping back in, and yesterday I created some posts for the page, but I'm just jotting down ideas, asking God to lead me. And because it's so cold, I want to do a lot of work. We're reaching out with businesses online and trying to do a lot of collaborations, asking permission to at least put our logos on other people's businesses, small businesses, large businesses. The goal for me is connecting with the big people, connecting with the small people. All of us have a network, whether it's your family or friends. My goal is to ask each person as a member to connect to at least 10 people. And that's one person connecting to 10 people, and then asking those 10 people to connect with their network of 10 people to get our name out there and just to start the ball rolling. I also was thinking about um, uh, going on website of churches and just getting our name out there and letting people know who we are and what we're about and asking people to join. And also, I've been thinking about ways to engage with the post, asking people questions. It's cold. We're dealing with COVID. We need to have some fun, create fun, and throw in Southside Food Corp membership drive in with that fun. I have a lot on my plate, but I am really passionate about uh, this project, and just even if we can get uh, a game going on where we have like friendship day, and get your girlfriend online, um, and we play a game, and there's a reward at the end. Hey, look, you participate on Southside Food Co-op game night and you win this. So I'm just thinking of a lot of ways of how to engage people and connect. That's it.
I love it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate our speaker coming on. I want to give her time to just be able to bless everyone. I know last time she came on, she ended our year out, 2021, speaking for us, and everyone was so excited. So I said, can you kick us off for 2022? Kick us off. Give us some a little general adrenaline. Just give us a shot. Give us a shot of your enthusiasm for the work that you do. She does a lot. She has a lot going on. So I thank God that she took the time to come and help us share. So I know she's always working. She's always doing something to uplift the people, to uplift her community. And their co-op actually opened in May of 2021. So I'm not sure exactly how long it took them to get it open. I don't know how many years. So I'm going to ask her to start out with that to let us know how long it took their co-op to get open. But I'm excited to just see some, just hear some of the strategies that she might drop on us today, some gems that she can give us on today to just say, hey, you guys are doing a great work. Don't stop. It's a rewarding work. It's a satisfying work. Some people, be like, okay, well, it's not really a lot in it for me. But at the end of the day, when you walk through the store, when you shop, and get your groceries, and you can look around and say, I own this. I worked. I have sweat equity in this. Oh my God, it's a different type of shop you do. Okay, it's a shop with pride. You know, it's a shop with, like, I enjoy going to the store now. Why? Because I own it. So right now I'm gonna see if she's available to come on and just start sharing with us. Kenya, are you available? Are you still working on something? You got something going on?
I'm always working on something, right? Um, so yeah, I'm working on a grant with one of our local churches. So I just jumped off of that call though for you guys because I want you all to kick off 2022 in a real and meaningful way. And so I cut out some time for you guys today to be able to just encourage and exhort you all in the work that you're doing. So you guys know that my name is Kenya Baker. I am the now executive director of Unified Power, which is a land trust and real estate investment cooperative. And it is designed to ensure that we do not have massive gentrification in the face of putting the fourth pillar of our community in place, which is the grocery store. We built a 15,000 square foot grocery store. What I wanted to do was to share with you all a presentation. And so that's what I was working on, is pulling up this presentation and getting you all onto my laptop and off of my phone. So while I do that, does anyone have any expectation or any questions? I've heard some from your leader, but does anyone else have any expectation or any questions that you would like to have answered in my presentation today? So if you could raise your hand, and then I'll let your president or your director call on you and ask those questions while I pull up this presentation. If anyone has any questions that they want to have answered in this presentation today. Anybody? Don't everybody say it at once.
I had a question, Kenya.
Okay.
I had to saw the post about the brother who works with me. I can't think of his name.
Amaha?
But okay, right. He has dreads, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm just trying to see. My question would be, how did you guys get started? You know, what role did he play? What role did you play? Like, what was the inspiration behind Gem City Co-op?
So it was really interesting, actually. The mother of our market is a woman named Erica Bruton. And Erica Bruton at the time was working for an organization called Miami Valley Organizing Collaborative. And there was a research agent that created a map called an opportunity map. And what this map did was it showed our entire region, so our inner city area, our suburban areas on this map. And it's in my presentation, actually, the opportunity map. And it color coded it so as to indicate what areas had opportunity and what areas didn't. And that map made it so starkly clear that there was an extreme disparity and opportunity for employment, healthcare, education, and food access between white communities and Black communities, that everyone had their attention called to the issue. And so Erica Bruton said, let's start having focus groups and let's talk about this disparity. And Amaha was one of the generals, so to speak. He was one of the individuals that started coming to the meeting and really picked up the guard. Like, for example, you guys probably have meetings and people come and they're like, I'll collect the names, or I'm going to host the next meeting. He was one of those individuals that just stood out, was passionate about the project, and earned himself a space with the project. He actually is the board president now of the grocery store, has been since its inception. He also is the co-executive director of the nonprofit that was started, Co-op Dayton, that allowed for us to be able to raise philanthropic dollars, grant money, that we didn't have to pay back. And he's very instrumental. He's a social work professor. He's been my friend for a long time, and I actually ran into him at a store maybe when they were maybe around 6 months, 7 months, organizing focus groups. And he said, we are galvanizing to start a co-op. And I said, really? It was interesting to me because at the time I was the president of an organization called Jules, Jointly Empowered Women, Encouraging Love and Sisterhood. And I had brought up the idea of a co-op to them. And unfortunately, in this capitalistic society, many people don't think co-op, they think personal wealth, personal finances. They don't think about the power of the collective. But I tried to present that notion to my group of women. They didn't really get the concept. However, here he was organizing people around the concept. So I jumped into the meetings, and I tell people this oftentimes, that I start working like someone who was getting paid, and they started paying me. The first person that started getting paid from the project was Leila Klein. You'll often hear her name attached to the Gem City Market Project. She was a Harvard law grad working with the union and was attending the focus groups, had a means of writing for a fellowship grant that allowed for her to be a full-time staff with the project. And that means everything. If you can have someone that can work on the project full-time and get paid, then you can hold someone accountable for making sure that you guys are meeting milestones. It's one thing when you're just volunteering, another thing when you're getting paid. So that is kind of like, in a nutshell, kind of like our early formation and how we got started with, the main. We are now dubbed like the primary organizers of the project, Amaha, Leila, and myself, and then Erica is the mother of the market.
Oh, okay. Great.
I love it. I wanted to ask real quick, how are you guys doing since you opened in May? How are you guys doing? Have you worked out a lot of kinks, and how's it going?
So there's been some learnings in the process. We're probably about at 75% projection. We are clearing our debt service, which is most important because you want to be able to clear your debt service because you got to pay your bills. That's it in a nutshell. We did recently are in the process. It's not complete widespread public knowledge, but we are in the process of changing out our leadership in our store. We have a general manager, and it's very important. Here's the learnings that came away from this. It is very important that you maintain the collective nature of your work when you go from theory to implementation. What you're doing now is you're theorizing what your grocery store is going to be. When you have a practical edifice that's functioning, you go into practice. And it's very important that your collective theory matches your collective practice. And what does that look like? You need some people that are organizing with you on this theoretical level to transition into the practical application. What are you saying, Kenya? What I'm saying is this. Idealistically, Amaha, Leila, or myself would have become staff members at our grocery store. In a perfect world, that would have smoothed the transition of going from theory to practice. But none of us wanted to do that. We've had some volunteers that have stepped up. We have some people that have been working with us from the beginning in community engagement, to step up and become board members, to volunteer at the store, but no one really worked as staff. So that meant the staff were all new people who didn't understand or really have a full understanding, I should say, of the culture that was created in the collective cooperative movement with the work that we were doing. So really think about that. Like, who do you have amongst you that will be willing to be embedded in the actual store? Again, taking note that an urban collective grocery store is not a common feature in Americans' landscape. It's not a common feature. In fact, we are one of the only urban cooperative grocery stores in America right now. We had one in North Carolina and they closed down. I believe that their primary reason was because they stopped engaging the community. As a cooperative, your prices are not going to be as competitive as you're not going to beat Walmart's price. You're not going to beat your large grocery chain prices. You're not going to be able to beat those prices. Another snafu that we had was the person who was supposed to price our stock got sick right before we opened. And we had waited so long to open, to push back our opening would have just done something to the community morale that we weren't willing to do. And so we really were faced with the decision to open without having all of our prices properly set. And that gave everyone or a lot of people the first impression that we were high. And that's not good, because when you talk about grocery shopping, you're talking about a lot of habit. People shop by habit. Like, if you shop, you know what it is. Some of us have a certain place we go get our produce. We have a certain place we go get our meat, and we do it at a certain time of the month. It's a lot of habit. So when you talk about trying to change people's habits, I had something I used to say, habits are hobbits, because they force us to do the same thing over, and some of it's not even good for us. But because we're creatures of habit, we just continue to do it. So make sure that, if possible, a second point to making sure that you transition collective work in theory to collective work in practice by having someone from your movement, if not 2 or 3 people, actually work at your store. Also, make sure that your prices are competitive as possible and at opening. So you just want to plan that out. Another thing is, we really pride ourselves on helping the disenfranchised community. That was one of our main purposes, to help that divested community that had suffered so much in opportunity lack because of redlining. And we couldn't get WIC opening our doors, because WIC has, if you all are familiar with WIC, WIC is the program for mothers with children that gives them certain food items with vouchers. However, be mindful that WIC has certain windows that they license new voucher honoring organizations. So be mindful of that when you all are setting your date, that you want to have WIC in place as much as possible. It's tricky because you can't get WIC unless your doors are open. So it's very, very tricky, but it's one of those things that, if one of your prime purposes is to help the disenfranchised and divested from community, that you want that message to be strong true and pure. So you want to make sure that your date is lined up with that window of WIC acceptance as much as possible, so that you're not open for months. I think our window opened in October. We grand opened in May. Idealistically, we would have grand opened closer to October, so that people know us as accepting this, this service. Our EBT, our food stamp machine went down the first day. So that was horrible, having people, elders in the community, go through a line and then get to the register and they couldn't buy their groceries. So needless to say, we paid for some groceries the first day, but it was necessary because, you want to honor your guests, and you definitely want to show them their value, because this was bringing food access to communities that otherwise would not have healthy food access, is a act of valuing a people who have been devalued. So we definitely paid for some groceries on that opening day. But I meet people all the time to tell me they're a member. We're up to 5,000 plus members. We garnered membership at a record rate. Most cooperatives in this country garner about 40 to maybe 60 members a year. We were racking in members at anywhere between 300 to 500 a year. So by the time we opened, we were well over 2,500, and now we're well over 5,000. And we've only been open for, but maybe 7-8 months. We opened in March, but again, we are turning over our general manager, currently called in a national consultant to work in that capacity, which I don't like, because I think that it's very important that that's a huge expense. And I believe that that expense should go back into our community. So, I mean, get someone general manager trained. If you could have a general manager come from the ranks of your organizers, that to me would be the most idealistic, circumstance. But you want to have somebody who has a passion to do it. You don't just want to, have someone do it because they need the money, or the position needs to be filled. So long answer for one question, but
No, that was great. That was great. You giving us some insight, because so many people, they keep saying, "Oh, when is the store gonna open? When is the store gonna open?" This and that, and they just don't know what it entails to get the store open, and then to properly do everything that you need to do once it opens. WIC. That's something most people don't think. They might think, okay, our store opening in May, let's apply for it in January. Well, it might take a longer process than that, or whatever. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's something to think about, and then too. The EBT machines, what was it, like a malfunction with the computers? Okay. So I mean, that's something.
I can still hear you.
Okay, so that could be sometimes malfunctions with the computers or the systems or things like that. You just have to run through some test trials, or it's just a lot to think about. So, it's not easy to get that store up and open and then continue to be successful, right, Kenya?
Correct. That's very correct. For us, it was an issue with like a server, and how the state was. So it wasn't necessarily us. It was more or less the state, a hold up with the state.
Okay.
So those relationships are important too, because we ultimately had to call our state representative to really make sure that the situation was rectified. So
Wow, that's great. Now, can you just say too, because we had a someone asked on the line, How much did it actually? Can you give us a ballpark figure? How much it cost you guys to get your store open?
to get it open.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
What was the dollar amount? Just about like how many million?
well, our capital campaign, our store cost about 5.2.
Okay, okay. And
About
that was built from
5.2.
the ground, right? Built from the ground in Dayton, Ohio.
We built it from the ground.
Mhm.
We had some little cut in the corners. First off, you garner your membership, because the more members you have, the more leverage you have in terms of membership equity.
Mhm.
Another corner, we didn't look for our cooperative to own the building. So that allows us to take advantage of some of the new market tax credits, because the building is owned by another nonprofit that rent to us as the actual cooperative. So that's another corner that you might want to consider in terms of the building. I mean, of course, they're earning a little bit, they're getting a little bit of money
Mhm.
from the interest, and being the renter. We own the land, but we don't actually own the building, which helps too with taxes, because now the building is owned by a nonprofit. There's no taxes on it, so that kind of helps as well. So just considering a lot of different avenues with regards to corner cutting so that you can get open.
Okay, okay. I have a
And
question I'm
then
going to
you
answer.
and then you
Well, go ahead. Go ahead. Can you?
No, I just was saying, and then you secure some debt service too. I think a good rule of thumb is you don't want to have more than, I mean, you can go through an organization like Capital Impact Partners and secure like 90% debt. The thing about it is, will you be able to clear your debt service? So you need to really look at your market and your feasibility study and your pro forma to see how much revenue that you're estimating that you'll be receiving, to ensure that you'll be able to clear your expenses with your revenue. Thinking about everything, like the average size of a buggy and how much that's going to be able to garner you based off of pricing now. So there's a lot of estimates that you need to consider and projections to make sure that you create a sustainable model. But you can get debt service up to 90% of your project. But that's high, and you want to again make sure that if you do borrow that much, that you're able to clear that debt service with your revenue.
And then too, the average time of really making profit, they say, is what, about 3 years before you?
Yeah, 3 to 5.
Okay, 3 to 5 years before you actually start really, making profit. A lot of people think that, just because you got something marketable, it's great, it's nice, that, you're going to initially just start making profit. But it is really, and then too, they try to lowball it. They try to, even if you might make a lot of profit, they're going to bring it down even more because they don't want to bring it overestimated. Working with Colluminate is working with us for our market study, Kenya. So as I continue to learn and grow from them and what they're doing and what they're going to be bringing to us, it's just been so interesting, and it's a lot. Like what you're sharing with us today is some of the things that they've been talking with us to me about to bring to our members to say, hey, you got to get educated. You got to make sure that they understand what they're involved with and what it takes, what to really run the store, to really run a grocery store, to have a profitable, sustainable grocery store. So they were talking to me, and they've really been working with me about doing a lot more educating, having them understand what it takes. Even a cooperative is going to be different than a corporate store. It's a different process. It's looked at differently from the lender's perspective. It's looked at differently, and so how do you feel about that as far as corporate versus cooperative? How people view us, even black led, how people view us, maybe not even quite take us seriously and maybe could get it done. Can you speak to that, Kenya?
Yeah. Like a pastor once told me, don't live on the altar of other people's opinions. So the work, again, that you're doing, you're a trailblazer. You're doing work that is not, typically done. And at the same time, you build relationships through that work. When we had our block party, Kroger's gave us, which is a major supermarket chain here, they gave us donations. So we were able to get donations because you are in the lane of your own. You're not coming into somebody else's lane. What you're designing is a grocery store that's built around collective power. That's not what Kroger's does. Kroger's is in the business of generating revenue. We had a Kroger's here, in a minute that their losses outweighed their revenue or came close to it and cut into their profit, and they weren't satisfied with the profit margin they were clearing, they shut down. They didn't care about the senior citizens that depended on them, that would now have to catch 3 and 4 buses just to be able to feed themselves. They didn't care about the children who relied on them, whose parents were at work and they were latchkey children who needed that store there so that they wouldn't have to spend $5 on a can of food that they would spend $2 on with that supermarket being there. They didn't care about any of that. They cared about their profit margin. And that's what is unique about a cooperative. A cooperative is about the people over profit. Profit doesn't go over people. It's people over profit. So you're going to make it your business to ensure that your staff, to ensure that your customers, and to ensure that your membership are respected and honored in all that you do. And that's a unique lane. That's not corporate, grocery store chain behavior. That's unique to you. And you probably will end up having some of the people that work for those very same stores actually come and be part of your store. And you'll have some eclectic items. You'll have some specialty items. Somebody was asking me about where I got some, I had some coconut milk ice cream sandwiches, and they were like, where did you get that from? And I'm like, Gym City Market. They don't have those at the big supermarket chain, because they're not listening. We collected over 500 suggestions from our members within our first month of opening our doors. And it was very important that we heard from the people that were coming to the store and learned the products that they wanted to see. I mean, your product mix is going to be kind of general at first, but it can be as detailed as possible. It was very important for us to do a receipt drive. So we went around to all of the houses and apartment buildings in the neighborhood. The average citizen in America shops within 1 mile to 2 miles from their house. So we went to all of the stores in that vicinity, the houses, and we asked them for their receipts, their grocery store receipts. People mailed in grocery store receipts. We sent them envelopes to do so. And that let us see what people bought from the store. So then we knew, okay, a lot of people are buying cremette elbow noodles. Let's make sure we have those. A lot of people are buying Heinz ketchup. Let's make sure we have that. So able to really, triangulate and look at where they had the most likelihood to purchase products helped us with developing our product mix. So that receipt drive was really, really critical, and making sure that we had what the customers wanted.
How far out did you do that? Did you do that so many months before opening the store, or what? How did you guys do that?
We got pretty close to opening when we did that. We were probably 6 months, 8 months out.
Okay, that's great. I love that suggestion. I'm making sure everybody hear that. I love that suggestion. That sounds
Yeah.
like something that is so vital that we should do to make sure everybody
Yeah.
And you know what? A lot of people could do that. You know, hey, you could just ask your family and friends, hey, save your grocery receipts for us. You know, we need it. You know, that is so cool. I love
Did
that.
you send me this link in the calendar invite?
I thought it did. You want me to send it again?
Just to make sure. I don't
Okay.
want my
You
phone
want
hang
it?
up.
You want it in your text, or how do you want it? Which way?
Email.
Email. Okay.
You're on mute. Are you talking to me?
I was just gonna say you could just talk while I'm gone.
I'm trying to move you over to the computer still. I'm almost there though. I'm closer than I was when we first started. And you're sending it to Unified Power. All right. Any other questions?
My name is Sister Lydia. I do have a question.
Okay.
Everything that you shared is so wonderful, good information. Okay, you say you rent, and also, I don't recall, did you have to obtain a mortgage, or you said something about someone else owning the property, but you guys pay the rent. So I was interested in knowing if you'd be able to tell us what the rent would be monthly, your monthly rent. And also I was interested in the amount of money so far as the mortgage on the place.
Yeah, so those accounting questions would probably be better fit for Leela. But yeah, I don't even want to give you a answer on that's not actually aligned. She went through that whole process with the new market tax credits and would really be the best person to answer that question.
Okay,
But
thank you.
that's a good question. If I can get the answer for you, I will get it back to you.
Okay, you could just pass it to Pastor Bernadine if you can, but thank you.
For sure. Thank you, Lydia.
Thanks.
I think I found, did I find the link? No, that's not it.
And I just sent it, so.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know.
And I
This is
SSFC meeting.
okay. I'm gonna cut this one off.
Okay. All right. So I know you guys been enjoying all the information that Kenya's brought. Hey, Ron, how are you? Welcome, Ron. You want to share a little bit about your project, Ron? Let everybody know what you guys are doing in Bronzeville. Are you able to unmute and talk? Okay, maybe he can't unmute. All right, but
I think he's there's some reverb somewhere, but I think he's having some tech issues. He just put it in there.
Okay, that's understandable. But Ron is with what is it called again, Ron? What's the name of the organization? South I think he put it up here. State Street. State
State
Street
Street.
Food Co-op in Bronzeville. Yeah. So welcome, Ron. We know what it takes to do this startup. It's something. So we're here to just encourage each other and get motivated even the more. And Kenya, were you able to get your slides going?
I think so, yeah. So I have the ability to share my screen.
Do we need to make her co-host, Dr. Brittany?
No, I think I have it. I'm pretty sure I do. Let me just pull this up. And let me see here. And I think that okay. Are you all seeing my screen?
Not yet.
That's it.
Okay, wait a minute.
I don't see anything.
All right, hold on. So, well, I'm almost there, guys. It says that I'm okay. What can y'all see now?
There it goes. Yes.
Okay, you see this whole thing?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. So this was put together actually by the executive director of Co-op Dayton. You all see in this picture, those little children there are my grandbabies actually. And there's a Maha who one of your workers asked about. And next to him is Erica Bruton. Can you all see my cursor? Okay, great. That's Erica Bruton. Rachel's our grant writer. Billy Young's our community member. Mama Nozipo's our community member. There I am in between Billy and Mama Nozipo. And then there's Leela off to the far right. And then we've got some board members in the back and a community member. So this is about our grocery store. So the question, why do we need to create our own grocery store? Here you can see a map that shows the food desert. This was the reason why we wanted to answer the call to creating this grocery store. And there's some color coding here that shows the percentage of households in the area that have no access. And you can really see here that there's high levels, 18.7 to 38% when you look at west of 75. It's 75, it is pretty much like shows the segregation in our community. Everything that you see on the west side is the Black community, and everything you see on the right side is the east side or the white community. Dayton is the fourth most hyper segregated city in the country. So that gives you an idea of what you're looking at in that map. So just some quick facts about the food desert. 40% of residents with income under 200% of federal poverty is a lot. They're living greater than 1 mile from a supermarket. That's what makes that the desert, makes it a desert. And that is a good narrative story point to make for your donors as you all are thinking about location, as you're thinking about the rationale for funders, because a food desert means that you're going to have other let's say precipitating or other issues that are exasperated because of the food desert. You have social determinants of health. So you have higher rates of disease and illness, higher rates of mental health, illness, higher rates of homicide. All of those skyrocket when you have a food desert because people don't have the same access to their food. And so there's just some other statistics there. And here's what I was talking about. Higher rates of diet-related diseases, infant mortality. We have in Dayton, in West Dayton, a Black baby is 3 times more likely to die at birth or not make it into this world than any other ethnic baby. So there's some other statistics also, eating less vegetables. You have that in the food desert. Why grocery stores are important, why they're vital. There I am. A lot of organizing took place, partnering to find a solution. You have to get with your community. And then on this particular photo, we were collecting information for our vision. So we were developing our mission and our vision statement. And so we were just broke out into separate groups, breakout groups, and brainstorming terms, looking at the causes of what we were experiencing as a community. And then we came back together to see how that data triangulated and where we could find commonalities in those groups, kind of like they did with the Council of Nice with the Bible. They went apart and they came back and said, these are the books of the Bible. That's what we did. We went away, looked at our values, looked at what was important to us, and then came back together and said, oh, we said that, you know, what group said the same thing. And that's what how we created our mission and our vision as a community. Several community meetings engaging people across racial lines, across religious lines, and across, you know, ethnic lines and class lines. So the rich, the middle class, the poor. Yeah, it's always interesting to see these pictures and, you know, people just pop out. But organizing was definitely our major tool in being able to have all of these landmark, you know, milestones. Finding the right location in the building was one of our biggest challenges. And it's interesting to look at again these pictures, because I see here Jamie with her hands up. Jamie actually ended up working for our third party connection, which is Expressions of Life. And they were the ones who set up all of the programming for our third spaces. Our grocery store is not just a grocery store. We have a clinic, we have a teaching kitchen, and we have a community room. And those three spaces are utilized by our community as a whole. You do not have to be a member to use those spaces, but we do have an orientation process and some waivers that are completed. And so Jamie worked with that third party, and that third party came in as just a support for our health and wellness initiative and looking at those third spaces. But they were able to, from the work that they've been doing with us in writing grants, buy their own building. And they actually just bought a $150,000 building that they were able to get city funds for paying for, and they're now going through a renovation. So it's just amazing how full circle this work comes. Here you see more organizing, information about AWG. That is a wholesaler, national wholesaler that provides the actual groceries. And they did a market study and just looked at the different stores in the area. Of course, they knew what was selling, so they could help us with some sales projections, because they are the wholesale provider for a lot of the grocery stores in the area. We also surveyed residents. So you want to have a nice, solid survey. And the best way to put together a good survey is to look at your universities and your colleges and find some researchers, mathematicians, statisticians that can help you to come up with some really good questions in order for you to collect that data and put together a sound market study. And again, you can see how big the food desert is west of the river. This is another illustration of the food desert as it, you know, goes out into even our suburban areas out into Trotwood. And then this is the area that we dubbed our trade area. So these are the zip codes and the boundaries. And you can see that there's only really two stores. So you're talking about shopping within a mile radius. This is an area. Know your demographic. Not only do you need to know your geography, but your geography then indicates your demographic. Know how many people live in your demographic, know how many children live in your demographic, know the median income of that demographic, know what the ethnic mix is. That's very important. And to know what the poverty guidelines are. Like most poverty guidelines are like 200% within, you know, or above or below the federal poverty guideline. Puts people in that snapshot, helps you to understand who your trade area is. That's my granddaughter, Rain. When you use pictures, anytime you're doing marketing materials or trying to communicate with the public or your donors, use real pictures. It means a lot. It evokes a feeling in the community when they see themselves and they are the ones involved in this work. So you don't want just some cookie cutter stock photos. Use real photos. That's important. So, you know, affordable pantry essentials and produce for those with limited food budgets, limited selection, organic, local, and specialty items to make the store a unique draw. We talked about that with the coconut milk ice cream sandwiches. It's a place for community to come together. These are all of the arguments that you can have for the importance of establishing a collective store. And it's not hard to do. You will be a trendsetter. It's interesting, the final bullet here is beat the Dollar General. Our dollar stores petitioned the city to be able to sell alcohol, but did not carry any produce. But after Gym City Market opened our doors, they started selling produce. All of the dollar stores opened up produce sections. So I think that it's very important to know that you are a trendsetter. You will change the way that people are doing business. And for us, it's not about competition. There's two types of mindsets that you can have: cooperative or competitive. And when you have a cooperative mindset, then you realize that the work that you do creates the situation and the lived experience that you have and your community has. So for us, it's about bettering the lived experience, not competing. So that's wonderful. Produce, put it on the show. That's actually Amaha's daughter, Hone. Here's some facts about it. The Gym City Market, 15,000 square feet. 8,000 is retail space, the clinic, the teaching kitchen. We had contemplated baking services, and believe it or not, it wasn't a feature or amenity that the community was really stoked about. They take it or leave it. So we nixed it, but we do have a cafe, which is ran by a third party. It's actually a Black woman who owns, that's her third coffee house, and she runs and operates it. It opens about a half an hour earlier than the store. It has its own entrance, and it can be, you know, blocked off from the store, but you also can gain access from the store if the store is open. So it's really, really nice to have her there. And again, those relationships that you form speak, you know, they speak to your nature and mission and vision and your purpose. I feel the need to also tell you all about being careful when you're partnering. We partnered with a local hospital who had made a decision about 4 years ago, to close one of their locations. That has resulted in lives lost because now people are trying to get to a hospital and having to travel twice as far, whether by ambulance or by car. That hospital wanted naming rights when they gave us funding because they are seeking to restore their reputation. Our Christian clergy have rose up and started a coalition to, lobby against what this hospital has done. And they were really looking to repair their name. But anybody that partners with you, consider the fact that anytime you give away naming rights, that it comes with stipulations. No one should have naming rights that are mainstay unless the community agrees to it. So for example, this particular hospital put their name on our clinic. And it's interesting because now a lot of the community partners that would have done acupuncture there, that would have provided massages, they don't want to use the space because it has their name on it, like a permanent fixture. And they don't want to be associated with that entity. So really think about when you give naming rights, they can put their signage that can go up and come down. If you're there, it can go up. If you're gone, it can come down. So consider that. Make sure that you make that consideration when you start giving naming rights. Who owns the Gem City Market? So we have a hybrid model, and you can see here that our worker owners own 65% of the store, and that our community members own 35%, and that's when it comes to voting. As it comes to profit shares, if we were to disperse profits to our membership, it would be a 70-30 split. Our worker owners also buy in at a much higher rate. So worker owners memberships are $3,000, and it's taken out of their checks incrementally. Community owners buy into their member shares with $100. One member, one owner. And then at the bottom, you can see that our board is constituted of 9 individuals from our community. And they hire and they supervise day-to-day operations and hire the management team. And then our annual membership meeting makes major course setting decisions. So there's a calendar of events and milestones that have to be met according to our bylaws with regards to our annual meeting. We have one meeting annually where we bring in our community members. And for example, I've set up the same thing with Unified Power. Within 90, normally it's a 90-day window. Within 90 days, you have to release, if you're hiring or bringing on new board members, a notice for recruiting candidates. Within 60 days of your annual meeting, you want to make sure that you've released the names of candidates, who those people are running, also giving an opportunity to release the agenda so that individuals can submit items for the agenda or items for revision. And then within 30 days, you want to be able to release like your fixed agenda candidates, and also provide, opportunities for final opportunities for any feedback. But you want to have some type of set standard for how you disseminate the information regarding your annual meeting to your members. So that's a strong consideration that should be made. And then as much as possible, you want to put your partners out there, people that you work with that support the work that you do. So it's good to collect logos, collect letters of support. You could have a pledge letter or a letter of support that allows for those companies in your area to sign on as supporters, because you may want to call on their support for various reasons. Rather, it's connecting to just, bring in more members or what have you. This just talks about our capital campaign. Again, our capital campaign quickly rose because, again, inflation is real. Steel charges went up, COVID happened, a number of things. And then that was our capital too. So we had philanthropic dollars that we raised, but we also wanted to raise a certain number of funds, again, so that we could have a good split between our philanthropic dollars, our membership campaign funds and our debt service. You want to have good, healthy splits that allow you to not want to borrow more money than you can pay back. And so that was actually our local representative too. If you have respected and reputable politicians, those are people that know how to reach the masses. So reach out to them and get them to be proponents of your project, and they will help you to raise money and to get more support. And this just is a little bit of some of our early drafts. The artwork across the top is African patterns that were designed by a local artist. The local artists are critical with your movement. We actually put boxes. They're like windows, but they're boxes where we can change out the materials from the inside of the store, and they have artwork. So they have paintings, they have poems. There was a group of women who organized youth to study the food desert, and they took pictures of different elements of the food desert, whether it's an abandoned store or a family standing at a bus stop with bags of groceries. And they took these pictures, and so we have a montage of that work. Find ways to engage your community. You'd be surprised. This is a floor plan of our store, so you can see that our entrance is, this changed too so many times. It's funny looking at this because this was not the final draft actually. Our teaching kitchen is kind of here when you walk in. Our community room is actually over here on this corner, which was a great decision because then we were able to put a balcony up, and it's like really like a feature. Like everybody wants to see the community room. It's like a spectacle, and it's in the back of the store. So you have to go through the whole store in order to get to it. Not to mention when you're having events there, you're increasing the foot traffic in your store. Why would you put it in the front? Because then people can come in and go. You want them to have to go past that corn that they need to remember to buy, or go past those, tofu burgers, so that they can be like, oh yeah, I need that. So you put your community room in the back, so people have to go through your store. Most of this stayed the same though. That's our blueprint. Community engagement and input on design. Our community engaged on just about every aspect. 1,000 more memberships in the trade area. We met that goal. And then we did also meet the goal of getting the NMTC, which is the new market tax credit, raised philanthropic dollars, and got our debt financing. Very active pre-development. We were able to get the store open in 2021 instead of 22. But yeah, we had some setbacks, but they all were for the good of the cause, because for every step back that we had a major accomplishment and celebration. So thankful for the process. Enjoy the process like a good artist. Don't just wait on your final product to celebrate. Celebrate and pride yourself on appreciating the process, because this is your life. And when it's all done, it's done. We always said if all we did was build a grocery store, then we missed the mark, because our main purpose is to build collective power and collective hope. And that's
I
the
love
reason.
that. It's more than a grocery store, Kenya. It's more. It's so much more. Even just seeing how the community, was such a part of all the planning and the vision and the mission and everything. It's just, it's so exciting to see how you guys did that. And I'm just, I'm saying like COVID had kind of like stopped us, but I'm getting past that because I feel like, okay, you got to get past COVID. You got to put your mask on. You know, I got vaccines, I'm boosted, you know, and still be able to get out there and start doing some things and engaging some of the churches that's open still, you know, maybe they'll meet with us. So I'm empowered. I'm fired up. You know, I'm ready to get out there. I love just seeing you guys around the table, putting your heads together. You know, maybe we could get away for a little retreat, some of us, you know, the membership, whoever will, you know, and just try to brainstorm and just really leave out of 2022, you know, even better than we did in 2021. So I thank you so much for coming on
You're
and sharing
welcome.
time with us.
I
I'm
think Stephanie had a question.
sure. Come on, Stephanie.
Hey, this was a great presentation, and hello everyone. Kenny, I had a question about the coffee shop. Does she share her profits with the co-op, or does she just rent space from you guys, or how does that work?
Yeah, she just rents space.
Oh, okay.
She just
Love
rents
that.
space. We do make sure that she's not like selling the same things that we're selling. So she has like vegan cookies. She has a few vegan baked goods, but we have a hot bar. So she doesn't sell like any of the things that we sell. She really just has a coffee mix, you know, some smoothies and her vegan like cookies and maybe a couple other baked items. Yeah.
And it's seating area as well, seating area for
She
the
has a
coffee.
seating area. Yeah, so I have a lot of impromptu meetings there. A lot of community members have meetings there. They've been, you know, kind of like looking at her. I think her mantra is the people's coffee house. So I mean, we've been doing that since she was downtown, but now having her in the grocery store is just really good.
I love that idea of that. Anyone else? I don't want to miss anybody. And then too, somebody help me if somebody's asking questions in the chat. I know some people were not able to see. I was not able to see the graph. Oh wow.
One
Oh.
quick question also, when Kendra, when she was talking about the different funds, the debt fund, the membership fund, and there was another fund. I just,
Philanthropic.
if you could just kind of like elaborate on those three funds.
Yeah, so the philanthropic fund are donor funds. Those are discretionary and non-discretionary funds. For example, somebody might give you $40,000 to go towards your appliances for your kitchen to be discretionary, or they may just give you $40,000 towards the project, and those would be non-discretionary, meaning you could use them to pay for your staff that you have that is helping with organizing, or you can use it. Just know that your funds serve as collateral when you get ready for your debt service. So it's good to have those funds. They want to see that you've raised those funds. So you want to make sure that, you know, you have those funds available in liquidity as much as possible, as well as the membership funds. Membership funds come from people purchasing memberships. For example, with the Community Land Trust now, the membership funds are kept in a separate account because that is going to be part of our leverage for being able to secure any debt that we may have to secure with regards to our projects. We are working on a major apartment complex project, which would be a ground up build. And we are looking at 25 units in order for it to be profitable. And it will be like our first project from our real estate investment cooperative. So we want to be able to make sure that we have as much membership funds as possible, and we try not to mess with our membership funds and spend it. We really want to use that as a number we can reflect to, making sure that you have supporter members as well, because even though a member cannot vote, a member should be able to be part and be a non-voting member, so you can have that in the supporter share. So we had $90 supporter shares that subsidized a low income share, which was $10, which allowed for people that perhaps did not have the financing to be able to pay $100 at one time to still be part of the membership and of the collective power that we were building. And then you have your debt service, and that's whatever money you borrow in order to close out the project and be able
Okay,
to, yeah.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Oh wow. Okay, now Ron said he wasn't able because he's having technical issues to see your presentation. He said, was there another way to view it? Is it another way
I
to
will
view
dig
it?
it out. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you something about Pastor Bernadine, everybody. And I think y'all probably already know this. She will make sure that y'all get it. That woman right there, she's gonna get it done.
Oh
So
my God. I be
she's gonna
trying,
make
don't I, Kenya? I be trying. I really do. I'm telling you, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to grow. I'm so happy to be part of this industry with you. You, my sister. And I feel so fortunate, you know. And I was telling her I'm doing a volunteer onboarding, and I really didn't know what to do or how to. She said, I created that a handbook. So I was like, okay. I said, can we help it? She's like, okay. So I just thank God for you. I really do. And the wealth of information you bring. And Ron is also asking the status of Southside Food Co-op. I'm telling you, Ron, we're doing such a great work. The people that has joined and come alongside me, I am just so blessed. For a startup, we've done well. I'm working with Western Illinois University, Sean Park, who presented us to Juliana Stratton, and she gave us some monies to continue to help build like strategic plans and get us some coaching. And then also the reinvestment fund, who usually don't look at a lot of startup co-ops at all. Molly Hartman lend me technical assistance, which they're working with us to do our market studies, performa, just all type of, just make sure that we got a lot of policies and procedures in place. So governance, our board governance, is that, good? Are we doing what we need to be doing as a board? So they're really working with me on that. So I think this year is a year of really making sure our foundation is good, Ron. I feel that's what's happening in this year of 2022. Really, a lot of good foundational building, and then I'm looking forward to 2023 being more movement as far as really growing and maybe even getting those grants that people are sending me all kind of grants right now, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm really in that place yet, but I keep just asking people in the industry, what do you think about this grant or that, where we are? Should we be doing this? Should we be doing that? So I am asking my fellow cooperators, what do they think about certain things? And then, again, having the capacity to fill out the grants. Leela, you met with us, Kenya, you and Leela. You guys met with us when we first started around June of 2020. I think you met with me and William and talked with us. I'm going to say maybe July, August. You talked with us and just tried to help us. Leela sent me some information, got me started, with, just understanding, how to start my business plan, all of that. She started me out with that, so I just having the help, Ron. And I don't know if you're going through Food Cooperative Initiative to really kind of get connected, to bring I'm sorry, what is again, Ron? It's State Street Food Co-op into existence. But the help of those in the cooperative industry, especially the Black cooperators. I'm telling you, it's just a wealth of information, knowledge, and understanding. Come on, Ken, you got something you want to say?
just wanted to make sure, have you connected with Malik Yakini out of Detroit?
I've talked to Dr. Yakura. I have not
Okay.
talked to him yet, but Dr. Yakura, she did our annual meeting last year.
Okay, because I know Malik, they just got the final funds that they needed to open up. And then are you familiar with the brothers in Lansing and
It's a
Flint
pastor.
and Flint?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, from up and coming. That's that. But as far as speaking with him, and no,
Yeah.
but I'm going to up and coming this year, so I'm looking forward to in person. This year, are you going to
Mhm.
be there? No, because you guys are open, so you guys no longer come to that, right?
Well, now I'm starting
Are
the
you
community.
presenting? Are you
I'm starting
presenting?
the community land trust, so I'm trying to get there for that. I'm not presenting.
Okay.
I'm really putting my energy towards helping with some of the dilapidation and the divestment. And investors are going wild. Like this, the market is really heating up with housing. So I want to make sure that people are not, displaced.
Love it. I love it. Well, I thank you guys so much. Again, Kenya dropped her information, Ron, in the chat. I pray you can see that. And you will be able to hit her up if you want to get connect and just maybe have her come and speak at your meetings. I know he said he's doing, I think, a meeting on February 28th about Fort Bronzeville. So they got a big project they're planning for that area. Hey, I love that. We're in cooperation. We're in collaboration. We're not competing with each other. It's not about that. It's about putting better models in our communities. It's about putting better projects in our communities that care about our communities, because it could be a lot of stuff coming to the community, but they really don't care for the community, and you could feel that. You could feel that because you wasn't even a part of the process. You had no seat at the table at all. Was things was planned for the community. So yes, thank you, so everybody's thanking you, Kenya, in the chat. They're so great. We're so grateful for you. We don't want to hold no more of your time. And people, we've held your time. I pray we answered all of your questions. Put your hand up right now if we did not, to let me know. Hey, I got something I want to say. I got something I want to ask. Okay, before we close. Well, if that Okay, nobody unmuted. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you guys. I appreciate you so much. And oh, okay, William, thank you. Such a good one. Such a good one. I knew you was just the right person. Thank you. Thank you. Love you guys.